there's no Christianity. It's about time. My dear brothers and sisters, let me, as time is running out fast, let me end with another example from the Bible. You see, it was Sunday morning, the first day of the week. Sunday morning, the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb of Jesus. I'm reading the Gospel of St. John, chapter 20. Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb of Jesus. I'm asking, why did she go there? Why did she go there? The Gospel says she went to anoint him. I say the Hebrew word for anoint is masaha. The Arabic also masaha, the root word, which means to rub, to massage, to anoint. Now tell me whether Jews massage dead bodies after 3 days. Do they? The answer is no. We Muslims, we are the closest to the Jew in our ceremonial law. Do Muslims massage dead bodies after 3 days? The answer is no. I said, you Christians, do you massage dead bodies after 3 days? The answer is no. Then I said, why would this woman want to go and massage a dead, rotting body after 3 days? Because within 3 hours, rigor mortis sets in. Rigor mortis sets in.
Oh,
see,
brothers in Islam, I don't like anybody to respond. No response at all. Would you please keep quiet? Please, please.
I know it hurts. No, I know it hurts. You see, because the foundation, the ground is being taken away from under your feet. And if you feel in desperation, I can appreciate that. By God, I appreciate your feelings. The thing... Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb. And she finds the tomb empty. I'm asking, why did she go there? So we are told she went to anoint him. When she finds the tomb empty, she starts to cry. It's a disappointment. She expected to find Jesus there. So she starts to cry. She sees the empty tomb and the winding sheets inside and the stone removed. So Jesus was watching her from wherever he was. Not from heaven, but from this earth. You see, this tomb was a privately owned property belonging to Joseph of Arimathea, a very rich, influential disciple of Jesus, who had carved out of a rock a big roomy chamber, which Jim Bishop, one of your authorities, describes as 5 feet wide by 7 feet high by 15 feet deep, with a ledge or ledges inside. Around this tomb was the man's vegetable garden. Now don't tell me that this Jew was so generous, he was planting vegetables 5 miles out of Jerusalem for other people's sheep and goats to graze upon. Surely he must have got his gardener's quarters, and perhaps his country home, where he went for the weekend with his family. Jesus is there. He sees this woman, he knows who she is, and he knows why she is there. So he walks up to her, and he finds her crying. So he says, "Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? Why are you crying for? Who are you looking for?" I'm asking, why does he ask such a silly question? Doesn't he know who she's looking for? Doesn't he know that she's disappointed not finding him? Of course he knows. Then why is he asking such a silly question? I say, it is not a silly question. He's actually pulling her leg, as the Englishman says, metaphorically, playing the fools. He's still got the sense of humor. He has been through an ordeal, according to the scriptures, but he's still got the sense of humor. So he says, "Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou?" She, supposing him to be the gardener. I said, why does she suppose he's a gardener? Do resurrected bodies look like gardeners? Do they? Then why does she suppose he's a gardener? I said, because he's disguised as a gardener. Why is he disguised as a gardener? I say, because he's afraid of the Jews. Why is he afraid of the Jews? Because I say he didn't die and he didn't conquer death. Because if he had died and if he had conquered death, there's no need to be afraid anymore. Why not? Because the resurrected bodies can't die twice. Who says so? I said, the Bible. What does it say? It says it is ordained unto all men once to die, and after that the judgment. You can't die twice. So she, supposing him to be the gardener, says, "Sir, if you have taken him hence, tell me, where have you laid him? To rest, to relax, to recuperate, so that I might take him away." One woman carrying away a corpse. Can you imagine? A frail Jewess, like a super American woman, you know, the superwoman's type of woman, you know, carrying him like a bundle of straw and taking him away. Bury him as who dug the grave. If there was a grave, carrying is one thing, but burying means you just have to dump him in a hole. Does it make sense? No. So she's supposing him to the gardener, says, "Sir, if you have taken him hence, tell me, where have you laid him? To rest, to relax, to recuperate, so that I might take him away." The joke has gone too far. So Jesus says, "Mary." The way he said, "Mary," she recognized that this is Jesus from this intonation. And she wanted to grab him, as the Jews would do, to pay respects. So he says, "Touch me not." I say, "Why not? Is he a bundle of electricity, a dynamo, that if she touches him, she'll get electrocuted?" "No." "Then why not?" I say, "Because it hurts." "What other reason?" "It hurts." You go and grab a man who has been through an ordeal, as Brother Floyd Clark described, you know, the nails and the flogging and all that, and you go and embrace him, you're going to kill him. So she says, "Mary," says, "touch me not, for I am not yet ascended unto my Father." I am not yet ascended unto my Father. In the language of the Jew, in the idiom of the Jew, he's saying, "I am not dead yet." Now, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, my brother Floyd Clark has been unjust to himself. See, I feel he was unjust to himself, because this format was made by me. I said, whoever speaks first gets 10 minutes in the end. The second speaker has 1 hour continuously. The choice is yours. You take the choice. Had he given me the choice of speaking first, he would have an opportunity of refuting each and every one of these. But now, I pity him. In 10 minutes now, what he's going to do? What he's going to disentangle? What has been entangled now? What has been proved? I pity my brother, you know, good friend, I love him, but I said, now you have been, if you had asked for my advice, I would have told you, let me speak first. So you have an hour to refute me, and then I can rebut him if it was possible. But there is a verdict is required from each and every one that is here tonight. It is not a question of who is right and who is wrong. You can see where truth lies. What the Muslim says, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ, that they didn't kill him and they didn't crucify him. And crucify means to kill by hanging or impaling on the cross. And you say, whatever things happen, according to your records, he was not killed and he was not crucified. And the verdict is that if the Jews were in the dock for the murder of Jesus Christ, that they are not guilty. For attempted murder, yes, but not for murder. وَآخِرُ الدَّعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
Before I introduce Professor Floyd again for the 10 minutes, I'd like to make an appeal for both Muslim and Christian audience and say this: it may be useful and important to think, it may be useful to interact or have information or intellectual thinking, but it is just as important to manifest the noble and lofty teaching of both Christ and Muhammad, peace be upon them, in our own behaviors. So I would ask the Muslim audience never to interrupt Professor Floyd or inject anything from the floor as he presented his full piece in the beginning. And I would ask my Christian brethren to observe the same also during the question and answer period. Thank you. Professor Floyd.
I hope that you will accede to the request of our chairman. I really am embarrassed because there was no interruption whatever of my speaking, and I know most of the audience are not fully in accord with what I said. And I hope that you will give to Mr. Deedat the courtesy that you gave to me. As Brother Deedat was sharing with us his study of the Scriptures. I'm delighted that he's studying 1 Corinthians 15, just praying that the light one day will break. There are 3 or 4 points. Now, I'm not here to debate. Mr. Deedat invited me to this program, and I was concurring with him. We're not here to do battle with one another, but this was his request. He said, we want to talk about the Bible. You do the best you can do, I'll do the best we can do, and then we'll leave it to God as to what happens. I believe that a wise choice. I appreciate the courtesy extended. I would invite my friend to further study. First of all, in the matter of reference to Mary touching Jesus, Brother Ahmed, you need to check back with your Greek. The word hapto, the word to touch used in that text, has one meaning in the active voice and another meaning in the middle. In the active, it means to touch, as Brother Ahmed was talking about, but in the middle, it means to cling, and is used in 1 Corinthians 7 of the embrace of people in a marriage relationship. Mary had grabbed him around the knees and was clinging to him to keep him. And Jesus said, you do not cling to me. I have not yet ascended unto my Father. I am fully in accord with all that Brother Ahmed said about Jesus coming back alive from the dead. Everything he says is true. Jesus was alive in the body, and manifest being alive in the body in all of his appearances following the crucifixion. But what Brother Ahmed still does not understand is that when Jesus said flesh and bones, he did not say flesh and blood. He gave his blood when he died upon the cross, and he did not miraculously receive it back. He came into the upper room in a bloodless body, evidenced by the fact that the holes in his hands and feet and side were not oozing blood out on the carpets. In the distinction between the alive and the resurrection, Brother Ahmed needs to study further this point. Jesus said that he would lay down his life, he would take it again, and he would do it, and he would come back and be with them, which he did. But 40 days afterwards, he ascended, leaving the physical body behind and ascending in the resurrected body. In Jesus' case, occurring 40 days after the crucifixion. And in his words to Mary, as quoted by Ahmed, I have not yet ascended. In the discussions which we have had about the sign of Jonah, Ahmed needs to look further into the text also. When Jesus said, as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the earth, the Greek word is there hosper, as indeed. It does not express a comparison of identical nature. It is comparing some loose sense of comparison. Had the author intended an exact relationship, he would have needed to use hosautos or some such conjunctive adverb. As to the 3 days and 3 nights, Christendom did not celebrate Good Friday for more than 300 years after the coming of Christ, when many traditions crept in that were foreign to the New Testament. The New Testament teaches that there were two Sabbaths, a high Sabbath and a Sabbath a week co-joining, and that Jesus was crucified then on Thursday, not Friday, and his body lay in the tomb over the 2 days of the Sabbath. Again, I want to thank you for your wonderful courtesy. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you.
While I begin with some remarks as to how we should conduct the question-answer session, I would like to ask those who wish to have questions to line up in the front here so that they can use the microphone. Now, we have about 10 minutes or so for questions. I understand that this is a very limited time, so I would have to be, with your permission, very strict on these rules. First of all, a question, is not a speech or mini-speech. You have only a few seconds to put your question directly and to the point. Number two, if any of the audience have more than one question, ask only one.
From under your feet. And if you feel in desperation, I can appreciate that. By God, I appreciate your feelings. The thing... Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb, and she finds the tomb empty. I'm asking, why did she go there? So we are told she went to anoint him. When she finds the tomb empty, she starts to cry. It's a disappointment. Within 3 hours, rigor mortis sets in. Rigor mortis sets in.
Oh,
See,
brothers in Islam, I don't like anybody to respond. No response at all. Would you please keep quiet? Please, please.
I know it hurts. No, I know it hurts. You see, because the foundation, the ground is being taken away. I'm reading the Gospel of St. John, chapter 19, 20. Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb of Jesus. I'm asking, why did she go there? Why did she go there? The Gospel says she went to anoint him. I say the Hebrew word for anoint is masaha. The Arabic also masaha, the root word, which means to rub, to massage, to anoint. Now tell me, will the Jews massage dead bodies after 3 days? Do they? The answer is no. We Muslims, we are the closest to the Jew in our ceremonial law. Do Muslims massage dead bodies after 3 days? The answer is no. I said, you Christians, do you massage dead bodies after 3 days? The answer is no. Then I said, why would this woman want to go and massage a dead, rotting body after 3 days? Because within 3 hours, there's no Christianity. It's about time. My dear brothers and sisters, let me, as time is running out fast, let me end with another example from the Bible. You see, it was Sunday morning, the first day of the week. Sunday morning, the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb of Jesus.